Hello, I am Fariha Rayhan, founder of Soulful Teaching. Today, I am going to talk about I'm bored, I'm tired, I don't care. Decoding the three silent cries of teens. You see your teenager sitting with books open, eyes glazed, spirit missing. Once excited to learn new things, now they seem distant, uninterested, or even numb. You remind them to study, and they say, I know, but nothing changes. What's happening? Are they lazy, rebellious, or is there something deeper behind the silence, the boredom, and the indifference? Before we try to fix their behavior, let's pause and understand some hidden patterns behind it. You may have noticed it already. Sometimes your teen studies without really grasping anything. Other times they just sit and watch life go by. And then there are moments when they wear a cold, I don't care mask that shuts you out completely. These aren't just moods. They are signs and reflections of something missing from their learning journey. To help our children, we need to understand what they're going through on a deeper level. And for that, let's gently explore three powerful concepts that often go unnoticed in parenting: mass absence, spectatorism, and mask. Not in the scientific or theatrical sense, but in how they shape our children's learning experience every single day. Mass absence. Imagine Ali, a teenager, sitting with a math book in front of him. He's not sleepy because it's bedtime. He's sleepy because the words in the book don't mean anything to him. They're floating in the air, too far from reality, too disconnected from their world. He reads a paragraph and forgets it the next second. He yawns, he stretches, he walks away. This is not laziness. This is what we call mass absence. Mass absence means the student is studying without something real to connect the information to. The mass here doesn't mean weights in the scientific sense. It means something physical, real, and understandable that can anchor the idea. If a child studies without connecting the lesson to real life, to something they can see, feel, or experience, their brain cannot hold on to it. It slips away like water through fingers. This is why some teenagers look bored, get sleepy, or even start disliking the study itself. Let's say Sana, a 14-year-old, is trying to study a chapter on history. She reads it but cannot remember the names, the dates, the events. Her mind says, why does this matter? There's no anchor. The lesson is weightless. She's facing mass absence. Teenagers are naturally curious and full of thoughts, but they also need a reason to connect with what they're studying. When they can't connect, they mentally check out. The mind gets tired of trying to hold something empty, and this makes memory weak too. The brain remembers better when it can connect ideas with real things, emotions, or actions. If Sana sees a movie clip related to the event, or hears a real story of someone who lived through it, suddenly it clicks. She feels something. The lesson becomes part of her memory. As a parent, you don't need fancy tools. You need curiosity and connection. Try this. If your child is reading a story or a literature chapter, sit with them and ask, can you act out a part of it? Even if they laugh or feel shy, doing this brings life to the words. For a topic like geometry, take small strings, pencils, or coins to show shapes and angles in real objects. Let them touch, feel, and see what the words are saying. If it's a language subject, ask them to use the new words in a joke or story they make up. You can also ask them to teach you. Become the student. Let your teen explain the topic to you as if you know nothing. They'll have to understand it better to teach it. This helps them remember. If they get stuck, that's a chance to learn more together. You are not testing them. You are exploring together. Teenagers need small wins to stay motivated. If they say, I can't remember anything, take one paragraph and help them create a sketch, or find a YouTube video that explains it simply. Then ask them to summarize it in one line. That one line is the win. Celebrate it. Sometimes boredom and forgetfulness are not problems. They are signs. Signs that the study is not real enough for the child to hold in their mind. Help them bring it to life, and you will see the spark returning. Spectatorism. Bilal's 15. He attends school, takes notes, and even finishes his assignments. But ask him about what he learned, and he says, I don't remember. He's not being careless. He's being a spectator, like someone who sits in the stadium and watches a football match but never touches the ball. Spectatorism in learning means the child is present in the environment but not mentally involved. The lesson goes on. The teacher talks, the parent explains, but the child's mind is somewhere else, watching, not doing. This is not always because of laziness. Sometimes it's fear of failing, fear of looking silly, fear of not being good enough. So instead of trying, they sit back, they watch, they become spectators in their own life. There are signs. A spectator student avoids eye contact, gives one-word answers, copies homework, and never asks questions. They don't argue, but they don't contribute either. Their body might be in the room, but their mind is floating outside. Spectatorism becomes worse if parents or teachers use too much pressure or criticism. The child shuts down emotionally. The voice inside says, better to do nothing than to do it wrong. This is where parenting style matters. If home feels like a test center, the child withdraws. If home feels like a space to learn without judgment, the child returns to participate. Let me share a story. A girl named Nimra loved to write poems, but she never shared them. Her parents always corrected her grammar in front of everyone. Slowly, she stopped writing. She still brought books to the table, but didn't read. She still had notebooks, but they were empty. One day, her mother sat beside her and said, "Write anything, no checking, no judgment." That night, Nimra wrote 3 pages. Her mother read them and said, "I love this line," without correcting anything. That's when Nimra came back to life. She was no longer a spectator. She was a creator. How do we help a child leave the sidelines and join the game? Let them speak without fear. When they study, ask, "What confused you today?" Make confusion normal. Encourage mistakes. Play games where wrong answers lead to laughter, not shame. Use flashcards to quiz each other and let the child win. Ask them to teach you what they learned in a funny voice or role play. If a child is passive, don't push harder. Instead, sit beside them and join their world. If they like music, connect the lesson to a song. If they enjoy drawing, let them draw the concept. Engagement begins where the child feels seen and safe. Also, you can help them keep a small daily log. What I tried today list. Not what they succeeded in, but what they tried. This grows self-awareness. It reminds them they are not watchers, they are doers. Mask of indifference. Zoya is 14. Her exams went badly. Her parents are worried, but she shrugs. "I don't care." But her eyes tell a different story. This is the mask of indifference. This mask is a powerful defense. Teenagers use it to hide pain, fear, or pressure. Saying, "I don't care," feels safer than saying, "I feel like a failure." It's not that they don't care, it's that caring makes them feel exposed. Boys and girls both use this mask, but often in different ways. Boys may joke around, act lazy, or change the topic. Girls may go silent, isolate themselves, or pretend to be too cool to care. Underneath both masks is the same emotion, fear of judgment. Teenagers today are under pressure from school, social media, family, and peers. Everyone expects them to succeed, but few people give them room to fail without shame. So when failure happens, they panic, but instead of crying, they wear a mask. Parents often take the mask against value. They believe the child truly doesn't care, so they either become more strict or more distant. Both reactions deepen the mask. The child thinks, "Even my parents don't understand me." To help a child remove the mask, we must understand that it's not a problem, it's a message. A message that says, "I'm scared and I need a safe space." Start with connection, not correction. Sit beside your child and say, "You seemed upset after the test. Want to talk about it?" If they say no, don't force it. Just stay nearby. Later, share your own story. "I once failed a subject too. I told everyone I didn't care, but inside I was hurting." When they see your honesty, they feel safe enough to be honest too. Watch for signs they might talk more to siblings, stay up late, or doodle dark or silly things in their notebook. These are not meaningless behaviors. These are signals. Let them know it's okay to care. Praise effort, not results. I'm proud you kept trying even though it was tough. Encourage small steps. Organizing notes, setting a timer for 15-minute study sessions, or rewriting one page neatly. Celebrate every small action. These rebuilds confidence. You can also help them build emotional vocabulary. Use a feeling chart or journal prompts. Ask, what are 3 feelings you had today? Let them choose without pressure. Emotional awareness reduces the need for masks. Finally, create a home culture that embraces mistakes. Have a weekly failure story dinner where everyone shares something that went wrong and what they learned. When mistakes are normal, masks become unnecessary. Teenagers don't want to hide. They want to be seen. When you offer trust, space, and empathy, the mask falls and the real child returns. Don't treat the symptom. Understand